The wonderful Amanda Robbins. Nice to
I
have
love
you, my
you.
love.
Hello. How are you
Um,
doing?
Good. Today we're talking about the topic of what got you here will not get you there. And I'll give you a very specific example story to start with. I remember working with a client a while ago, and he was, by most people's definition, wildly successful. They had multiple properties. They had achieved all kinds of levels of financial and business success. He started off younger as a single guy who figured out his routine for success. And he had this amazing routine of what mentally, physically, emotionally got him to that place where he could succeed. And when he followed the routine, it got him, really great grades at an unbelievable university. It got him a job at one of the top firms in the world. It helped him to climb the ladder and achieve all the positions and earn the huge bonuses that go with it. Like it really allowed him to succeed. And um, since along that journey, he had gotten married and now he was starting to have children. And so they had kids now, and he was married. And at one point, he noticed he had fallen out of his groove. So he wasn't succeeding as much as he was used to. And like now, the world dynamics changed a bit. So things weren't like they used to be. There was new technology coming about, there was a new way of life. There was certain divides happening amongst people in their opinions of how life should or shouldn't be. So there was new dynamics going on in the world around him, and he was really trying to figure out how to really kick it back in gear. And so for you watching live, if you're on here with us, how many of you have experienced where you're doing the same stuff you used to do in order to succeed, in order to grow your business or get clients or stay healthy or be a good parent, whatever it was? He was doing everything he used to do, but he's no longer getting the same results. He's no longer seeing as much progress. He's no longer achieving all the things he used to achieve. And I remember sitting down with him and helping him identify what was his formula for success. And so I'll ask you, in the past, when you've succeeded and achieved a lot, what was your formula for success? What was the routine you used? What was the identity you had about who you were and what was possible? How did you choose to show up and use the moments or hours of each day? What did you do throughout the day in order to drive success, drive results, move things forward? And oftentimes, when we're able to identify what used to work, we can get the clues or hints or learn the strategy or approach to help replicate it and produce results, produce progress, produce what we want. And so I've done this with him in the past, years prior, before he was married with kids, and we replicated his success strategy, and he was able to achieve consistent, remarkable results, rapid results, consistently just making progress, making progress, making progress. And I remember he said, "Hey, a long time ago we did this. It worked. It helped me achieve all these things in my life. I want to do it again." And I went, "Ooh, ooh, 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 you're missing something." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Write this phrase down. What got you here won't get you there. What got you here will not get you there." And he goes, "What does that mean?" And I said, "When I met you, you were a single guy who was kind of dating, who didn't have any kids, who was just focused on success, achieving accomplishments. Since then, you're married, you have children, and I have to tell you, if you want any level of some type of relationship with this other human being called your spouse, and you want to be any type of a father your kids will remember beyond the memory of he wasn't there, like if you want to actually be a fond memory in their life and you want some type of actual substance of a relationship with this human, you got to write down this phrase: what got you here will not get you there. It won't work. Absolutely won't work. And he looked perplexed. He looked confused. I remember him staring at me and being like, then what? What do I have to do? And I said, we have to build a strategy to map these and include these conditions of your life. These conditions didn't exist when we started this journey. There's new conditions. If there's new conditions, it means you need a new strategy. Now, in his life, the conditions changed in his life. So he now had a spouse, he now had kids. The conditions changed. For people who are watching this, they might say, well, nothing's changed in my life. I'm still married with 2 kids, or I'm still single without kids. Great. But the world around you has 100% changed. 100%. I hear this phrase, AI is going to take your job. And then I heard the rebuttal. AI is not going to take your job, but the person who knows how to use AI will definitely take your job because they'll be able to produce 10 times more than you will. I was taking a class in Wharton recently of how to, it's a private equity class. We were doing some modeling around leverage buyouts of businesses. And I've been testing, 2 spreadsheets. One where I'm manually doing all the numbers myself. And second, where I'm having an AI help me fill in the numbers. And it's wildly fast and accurate. Wildly fast and accurate, meaning I can analyze financials 5 times faster because I can have it working in the background with me. It's not just my brain power or just a few people doing it. We have technology ramping stuff up. I saw Gary Vee the other day say an industry that's going to be completely displaced is the influencer industry. Why would companies pay a physical person who doesn't post on time, who posts the wrong thing, who doesn't do what they said they were going to do for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars for a post when you can go pay $5 to a digital influencer, which is an AI digital person that's owned by a brand. You can pay them $5 to post it on their channel. Happens exactly like you want it to happen with no bumps in between at the exact time you want it. He's like, influencers are going to get completely displaced. People who built an entire career are going to be gone overnight. And I was like, wow, that means the world around us is about to change again rapidly. And the phrase again shows up. What got you here won't get you there. So the question is, what is the strategy that you need to update in order to win and succeed under these conditions? And so I'll open this up to you, Love. How have you seen this? I know in Performance Coach University, one thing we were just talking about in our Core 4 group is flexible mind, flexible body, flexible body, flexible mind. The person who's most flexible and they're able to dynamically navigate and they're able to flex and flow through all the different dynamic changes in the world, the more likely they are to succeed. The person, if you think of like an old dried up branch on a tree, if it's inflexible, when times change, it snaps or breaks. Oftentimes, people are so inflexible about the way their life has to be that the world around them changes and their mental and emotional experience of life breaks. They can't handle life because it doesn't match what they think life should be. Versus someone who's more flexible can step into that moment and say, yeah, life, this isn't what I thought would happen, but let me learn how to dance with it. Let me learn how to flex and flow with it and make it work. Let me find a way through this and work with it instead of constantly fight against it. I will pause there. I feel like
All right. This is part of evolution, right? You can revolve or you can evolve. And that is exactly what I think of when I hear of what got you here won't get you there. If you don't want any, like you mentioned so perfectly, even if you haven't changed, the world around you has still changed. So with that, where I see this show up a lot for our clients and the clients that and even coaches and students, like anyone that we work with, is, in a couple places. So one is in the corporate world, right? You've gone from some entry level, maybe you're crushing it, you climb the ladder, and now you're managing a team. And I know people personally, whether they're clients or friends, that went from absolutely crushing it in their job and then being promoted into a role where they're now managing a team. That's different. What got you there in that to get that promotion wasn't, you're going to have to learn a whole new skill set, right? Because now you're not the one doing the job. You're helping manage people that do the job. That requires you to grow. If you want to continue to grow, we have some students, for example, that they coach executives, they're performance coaches, and they work with executives that want a seat at the table. And they, again, have done very well in their careers, but there is a gap. So that's one thing that we talk about a lot in Performance Coach University, is identifying the gap. And so the idea of what got you here won't get you there is essentially saying there's a gap that exists. And what's critically important, if we want to get over here, is that we figure out how to bridge the gap. We start with figure out, sure, what did work? What helped us create this success? What can we take with us as far as lessons? And then moving forward, what's required over here, though, to really thrive, right? To maintain your competitive edge, to continue to get promoted, to continue to excel in whatever it is that you're going after, right? But it's going to require you to figure out what the gap is and then measure, or rather create action items. We do this with our coaches, right? They create action items with their clients or their teams to figure out, again, what will get me there, though? Because what got me here won't get me there, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means we have to identify what is the gap that exists and how do we create action steps to get us over through that gap. So I see this in the corporate world. I also see this, another great analogy, or not even analogy, real life experience, would be a player to a coach. You could be an all-star player and then you're done with that sport and you go to coach. You can no longer be the one out there, let's say, running bases, pitching, catching. You're done there. And so to thrive as a coach, again, what got you here as an all-star player won't get you here to be a world champion coach, right? It requires a different skill set. So the takeaway that I'm really hearing, and the thing that I really stand out from what you shared and what I see in the real world, and of course with coaching coaches, is that, again, even as like a lot of people come in and they think they're coaches, but they're actually just doing a really great job as advice givers or mentors or something of that nature, which is great. Those are important roles as well. And this day and age, leaders need more coaching skills. So if you really want to thrive as a leader and succeed and excel, it's going to require you to not lead and manage the way you did 5-10 years ago. You really need to, especially with a new generation coming into the workforce, be equipped to speak a new language. Again, what got you here won't get you there. So you may have excelled 10 years ago operating that way as a leader, but today, and take those strengths with you by all means. There are strengths and there are lessons. It's nothing to just let go of and forget about. The idea is innovation, and think creatively and innovatively of, what do I need to really excel given the climate around me, the environment around me, the new company, the new team, the new generation, the new technology that allows me to really excel. One of our most loved mentors, a mentor we love so much, absolute stud in business, just absolutely crushed it. And the thing that like was and not a soft spot for him, but wasn't his strength, frankly, was digital marketing, because he crushed it in a time before digital marketing ever existed. Now, what's interesting is we see a lot of business owners that are really, we see the businesses that are taking off are the ones that have implemented technology or AI or digital marketing, like things that didn't exist with the prior generation. So I love this concept. I love that you're bringing up and talking about, because it's incredibly important. And it's a great question to reflect on of, what am I avoiding right now that actually is costing me and hindering my own progress or growth? And what do I need? What's holding me back? And how can I lean into that? Like, something that comes up without a doubt right now in my own personal space is AI, where it's like, it's there, it's not going away. And so how do we creatively work with it and have it be a part of our business, of our coaching, of our lives, in a way that it does allow us to have a better and even better, stronger impact, a positive impact, more so than we ever would have been able to do solely on our own, right? And that's letting your ego like take a back seat and just be open to the gifts, the opportunities, the innovation that is in front of us, and really stepping into it in a way that allows us to continue to lead with our passions, our purpose, and the things that fulfill us most in whatever we're dedicating our life to, right?
Yeah, there's some things to remember for people. There's always a debate. Who's the best basketball player of all time? Was it Michael Jordan? Was it Kobe? Was it LeBron? Was it who is the best of all time? Well, regardless of who you think the best player was, you can all agree that Michael Jordan was really good. Just start with that. So
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was a really good basketball player. Now, he was an average baseball player. Like he came over to baseball, he was put in the minor leagues, he
Great
got a
example.
couple of home runs, he was just average.
Mm-hmm.
He was a horrible coach. Like he was an unbelievable basketball player, one of the best on earth. He was an average baseball player, and he couldn't figure out how to coach. The only thing he knew how to do and coach was, what's wrong with you guys? If I was on the court, I would run 10 times faster than you. You're not put that, you call that effort? That's horrible. He didn't know how to coach anybody. He didn't have coaching tools or strategies or skill sets. You mentioned sometimes when someone goes from being the star player and they get promoted to become the manager or the leader of an organization, they mirror the same results Michael Jordan had from player to coach. They suck at coaching. They don't know how. I've seen this firsthand. Someone got a major promotion. They were now given a team to manage, and they sucked. They were horrible at leading the team. Everyone on the team loved them as a human being, hated working for them, hated it. And I was like, oh, they just don't know how to coach. But coaching, you said coaching is one category, managing is another category, and mentoring is another category. They're often confused. What the research shows is most of these people who get a promotion understand either coaching, mentoring, or managing. And they then think that one skill set is the same. So they have their one muscle and they
Yeah.
use it in every situation, which makes them horrible in that position. And they don't know any different. They don't
Yeah.
know any better. They don't know any worse. And so what we often do at Performance Coach University is show them there's 3 different categories that exist. Here's what managing looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what mentoring looks like. Here's what coaching looks like. Coaching gets, based on actual research, gets substantial improvement in team performance, team engagement, and lowering turnover rates, which is so expensive inside of companies nowadays.
Yeah.
And so it saves the company a ton of money. It helps improve morale, improve engagement, improve results and performance. But it's a very specific skill set that most people aren't doing right. They're the Michael Jordan of the game. They get moved into a management position or leadership position, and they don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we help them understand the difference between the 3. We then help them understand, what does actual coaching look like? What are the tools? What are the strategies? What are the frameworks that, when applied, actually drive the results you're looking for? And as we get them using those skill sets, they become the Michael Jordan of coaching, which absolutely drives the results they're looking for. It's life-changing for them as an individual, and it's game-changing for them as an organization. And so my 2 cents is, remember the phrase, just like we started, what got you here will not get you there. Your work ethic and focus and drive and work harder and do more, that caused you to succeed. That caused you to get promoted, to get the next level of job. That won't work if you just turn to your team like Michael Jordan did and said, try harder, work, do more. You call that effort? That won't work. you're going to need a new skill set and you're going to need a new mindset and approach on how to get your team to actually perform. So if you're in that position and you want some tools and strategies, go to performancecoachuniversity.com. Check it out. We'd love to have you. We have some amazing coaches, NFL athletes who went from player to coach, people in the special operations, people who are active military right now and deployed who are learning with us. We have teachers, we have pro ballerinas, we have pro coaches who actual collegiate college coaches come in and learn coaching skills with us. People from McKinsey and Deloitte who know the business side of consulting, who want to know the people side of consulting, counselors and therapists who want to expand their range and do coaching, not just focus on people's problems, but focus on what's right with their life and how to help them do even more of it. We have wonderful, wonderful community. We'd love to have you come check it out and see if it's a fit for you. Again, go to performancecoachuniversity.com and join us. Okay, I got to jump for a coaching call.